click on this plus to add another artboard. Now in this one, I'm going to create this is what we want to do now. Let me show you what we want to do now. This guy here that has patterns, right? That's what we want to do in this guy, in this space here. So we're going to first of all create a circle. We'll go to our circle here, and we'll go to our circle here and create circles. Let's bring in our color. We're not going to use black and white right now. We're going to use different colors. I'll go to my swatch and go to my icon here, and I'll go to this color, scientific, and I'll go to split complementary. I like using this to get different colors that have relationship with each other. So you see that these colors are split complementary colors, so they all have one common essence here. So the contrast, the contrast is there, but they have one similar attribute. Either they are warm or they are bright, or no, they're in the same class, right? So I'm going to use what will I use? Let me use red, or let me use a lighter color. Let me use green. And then on this stroke, I will just make it no stroke. I don't want it to have any stroke, right? So I'll go back to my selection tool. Let me increase this guy here and reduce it a bit so I can reduce this circle. I don't want it to be too much. All right, so I'm going to use my Alt key and make duplicates of this guy here. Make duplicates of this guy here. Duplicates of this guy, this guy, and then for this space, just okay. So I'm now going to make duplicates, more duplicates, just to fill up all these spaces where you have. We're going to adjust it when we are done to close up all the gaps that are too much. All right, so I think this guy is good. So what we're going to do now, we're going to select these colors here, right, and go to split complementary. Green is fine. Green is fine. Let's start with green. But in these colors here, in between here, these colors, all these colors here, we're going to give it another shade. We're going to give it blue, right? While these remaining colors here, just, and then shift. We're holding shift to select these circles to add more selections. So on this guy, I'm going to make it dark orange or light orange, a lighter orange. Okay, so this is what we have here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to select this whole layers here. I think this green is too much. Let me make these other guys here a bit lighter green. Yeah, so there will be a weaker color in between these guys and these guys here. All right, so we now have this, and what we're going to do now, we're going to group whatever is here. We're going to group it, select everything, and press Ctrl G. You can just go to objects and you look for G, you know. So shortcut key is what? Ctrl G, right? So right now, let's go back to our layers. We have these two. We have this layer. We're going to duplicate this guy. So we have Ctrl C, and let's press Ctrl B. So Ctrl B is to send to the back. All right. So when you just press Ctrl C, you can go to edit. You can see all of them. Paste in the back, Ctrl B. Paste in place, Ctrl Shift, Ctrl V. Paste in front, Ctrl F. What we're going to do is Ctrl B. So it pastes at the back of this guy you've already created. Now, is this guy we are interested in, this guy at the back? So let's lock this guy for now, and let's concentrate on this guy at the back. So I've locked this guy at the front. So let's select this guy at the back. To select it, you click on this circle here right? So let's click on this guy to collapse. Then we'll go to our effects, and we go to distort and transform, and we'll go to what? Our transform, right? So in this transform, we are going to use, we are not really going to touch a lot of things here. We're going to just make this guy, let's start with creating copies. Let's have a copy of 30 copies, right? 30 copies, and let's take this guy to 98 or 97. And vertical, let's move him to 80. Let's move him forward. Yeah. So when we begin to move him, it begins to make more sense. You'll see 89, right? You see it's becoming like a 3D stuff, right? So for this horizontal, we can, if you are comfortable with this guy like this, fine. If you want to leave him like this, fine. If you want to still do more stuff on it, you can go to vertical, horizontal, and give him yeah. So this guy, we can just take him here and move him here a bit. All right, so we now have this guy like this. So this is how it looks like. So we now see it formed a kind of 3D behind the stuff. Now we are going to reduce the opacity. Remember that there are two duplicates here. Let's go back to our layer. This guy, we've not touched him. This guy that is locked, we've not touched him. We are still working on this guy here. So this is the guy we're going to reduce the opacity, right? We're going to reduce the opacity. So see how it does. Let's select him again. I think the opacity, let's make it a bit all right, let me reduce him a bit. All right, so we have this guy like this. So let's leave him like this, and that is how to do the transform. So right now we now want to I want to select this guy and use my alt and create a duplicate. I'm holding my alt to just drag this guy out. It creates a duplicate, and that's how to create duplicates. You hold your alt and create duplicates. If you watch my videos, you see me using it often. So I recommend that you watch my videos and subscribe to my channel. So on this guy here, we're going to now go to objects and go to expand appearance. So we've converted this guy. Is no longer a shape. Is no longer just a circle. Is now a vector, right? So that's what expansion means. You're converting it from a line to a vector, or a shape to a vector. So this guy is a vector. Is no longer it loses the attributes of just circles. Is now a vector. So with this guy, I'm going to rotate here. So we can see this guy is already here. So this guy is following this. So what we're going to do is go back to our something and turn off this guy that is locked. That's why I didn't move. That's why I didn't move. So let's turn off this guy that is locked. So we just have this guy. So let me do that again. I think part of it didn't move because it was locked. So let me go back to my layers and unlock this guy and select everything again, and expand appearance, right? And Control G is to group. So I've expanded appearance and I've grouped. So what I'm going to do now is to rotate this guy here, and everything rotates, and I'm going to reduce whatever that is here, right? I reduced it, and this is how it's going to be. So right now it looks like a tree, a very nice tree, right? It looks like a very nice tree. So I now want to create it in circles around, just like I did in my former video. I'm going to create a circle here. Let me zoom in to see what I am doing exactly. Create a circle here and use my shift to create a perfect circle, right? And this circle can be black or it can be white. Let's swap this thing to be the stroke, and let's increase the stroke a bit, right? So let's bring him here. So we have this guy here. So what we're going to do is, this is just a normal circle. I just gave the stroke a color and increase the stroke to 3 points and put him at the center of this guy here. So what we're going to do now is to go to our rotate. I've used this tool before. Please subscribe, watch my previous video, especially the one I did before this video. I explained everything about what I'm going to do next. I'll go to my rotate tool. I'll go to my rotate tool, increase this guy, and I'll hold my alt, and my hand is on alt, and I'm clicking on the center of this guy. What I want to do now is I want to rotate this design around this guy here. So if you look at this design, it has a center, but the center should be somewhere here, the midpoint, right? It should be somewhere here, so around here, you know. But right now, if you do this rotate, it's going to be rotating. If you use this rotate, it's going to rotate around the center. But I'm going to change the center from here. I'm going to bring it to this center, to this circle. That's what I want to do now. So I'm going to go back to my rotate tool, hold my alt, and click on this guy, center. So once I click on the center, this things comes out. It now tells you rotate on minus 45 degrees. You want to say yes, then you press copy. So what it does is it creates a copy of this guy here. So let's do that again. I don't think I did it exactly the way I wanted it to be. So let me push this guy here and click on this guy and go to my rotate, and then hold my alt and click on the center of this guy here. So right now we have minus 45. So instead of pressing OK, we're going to create copy. So the original still stays, and the copy, it copies it in the new direction of minus 45. At this case, I don't want to use minus 45. I think there are still spaces in between. So let me use my alt and go to minus 30 degrees. Minus 30 degrees, right? And go to copy. So yeah, I want the spaces to be closed. So once we have achieved that, we just press our Ctrl D to duplicate around the center. Very nice designs. And then we have this, right? We have this very nice design. Very good. So we can decide to give this circle the color of this guy here by selecting the circle. Going to my eyedropper tool and press my caps so I can pick this guy here. So yeah, so this is now, it filled it up. It took the attribute of this one and copied it into the circle. Right now I want to swap the attribute to the stroke and increase the weight of the stroke. That's if I wanted to have a circle, right? Which is like this. Or else if I don't want it to have a circle, I decide to say Ctrl X, and it's like this, which is also very, very fantastic. So now this is our pattern, and I want to bring in my t-shirts. Now I'm going to create another layer here. This is the t-shirt I'm talking about. So I'm going to create another artboard like this in our new layer. I'm going to copy this t-shirt into that space. So I'll go to my new layer, my documents where we are working on. Before I start doing anything, let me move this guy. Let me select everything here and group it. And yeah, so we can just use the alignment tool to the horizontal and this guy to the center, and the same thing with this guy here. We can just select features that is already locked. All right, so let's create a new document, a new artboard. Sorry, go to artboard tool, create a new artboard here, and then go to my selection tool, go back to my default tool. It's always good to go back to your selection tool. Go to my image here where I have the t-shirts, Ctrl C, come here and then Ctrl V, right? So I want to create a new layer first. Let me Ctrl X, create a new layer. For this old one, I call it pattern. I'll just call it circle pattern. right? Then for this guy, I will have t-shirts mockup. Right, so I'll just come here and paste the t-shirts. Where's my t-shirts? Yeah, that's it. So I'll now drag it into my artboard space, and there is it. I can now, I think it pasted twice. So let me use this guy here. Then what I can do is I can just duplicate this artboard. Go to my artboard and press my Alt to duplicate the artboard. So we have this one for C, and then the next one for, oh no, I think I didn't duplicate. It's still duplicating. So this guy for C, right? Then the next one for this pattern. Yeah, it's trying to copy all the attributes. Yeah, so just allow it to copy. Yeah, good. All right, so what I'm going to do now is to unlock the layers of this and this, so we can now move this guy here. So let's move this guy here more. I think it's at the back, right? So let's just copy, Control C, and come to this t-shirts and select the t-shirts, and I think they are in, because all of them are in the same layer, so we're going to separate them later on. So Control V, we're going to paste this guy here. Yeah, so we have the more. We're going to reduce him, reduce, so put the more here at the center of the guy. Yeah, more. Very nice, cool. Go to this guy, Control C, click on this guy here, and then Control V. Yeah, so we're going to reduce this guy here so we can occupy the center of this guy here. C. Let me reduce it a bit. Reduce it a bit. Okay. Right. And then for this guy, the last one, pattern. Control C, click on our t-shirts, and Control V. So there is a pattern here. We're just dragging to the center, and we might have to reduce whatever we want to reduce here. So take this guy at the center of the chest region. So yeah, we now have these patterns, very nice patterns of t-shirts, which we created from scratch. These are our own designs. Thank you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel for more videos.